And welcome to the Daily Space Weather, folks. We're streaming live to Twitch once again because the platform is so good. We love the Twitch platform. So we stream them live. And you can tune in. It's twitch.tv/smAsho. If anything suddenly happens, it's where you'll be able to get the information first. We see big filaments there, both at the entire western limb, really, as well as in the northeast. Small active region rising. We see some X-ray flares. And we see an onslaught of Covidiocy. Let's look at some more stuff. Here is the field view from HelioViewer. That's that active region. Undoubtedly the one which the X-rays came out of. We saw a small flaring there. Not even a B class, but came up off the floor. We'll get into it in a minute. There are the fields associated with that non-sunspot. At least last I checked, it wasn't a sunspot. It could be by now, as the magnetic environment can change with no warning. Here's a view from 304 angstroms. And let's move on to look at some more stuff here. First, please don't forget to press like and subscribe on YouTube. I'll take a moment for you to do that. Thumb twiddle, thumb twiddle. All right. By the way, I'm your host, smAsho, aka Dan. Please also check us out over on BitChute. There is exclusive content there, and we just uploaded one this morning entitled Covidiots, Government and Corporate Policies Are Ineffective and Are Not Designed to Protect You. We're also on Instagram, so check us out over there. There's exclusive content on all of our different platforms. How concerned are you about governments using COVID-19 to threaten human rights? 55% of those polled on Facebook said they were very concerned. We're also on Minds. Again, exclusive content available over there. There's the page. We're approaching 650,000 views, and we get a lot of profile views per number of subscribers. So, interesting stats over there on Minds. The future of social media, where you won't get censored, you won't get shadow banned. You can view and you'll see all your subscriptions. And it's just, like I said, the future of social media, unlike certain zombie corporations. And on a related note, we're also on Facebook. So thanks for everybody interacting over there. We've put up some posts this morning, and we've been interacting more on Facebook because of boredom and because of people being all over Facebook all day because they're so bored out of their damn minds that they're going out of their damn minds. And I'm not bored. I'm just overworked and underpaid. So check it out. It's a cosmology segment, which is going to consist of me talking about the fact that we now have playlists on YouTube. So we're slowly working to get all of practically every video on the channel into a playlist, as we have a lot of different series, and we want to make it more convenient for you all to navigate through it. So this cosmology segment is about something very special, the Wolfram Alpha Project. So the Wolfram Alpha Project is a mathematical computational model trying to create what we'd call a unified theory of physics. So we've updated the forums. There's the website for Wolfram Alpha. I'm not going to talk in depth about it because there's a lot of things to cover. We do have a theory of everything thread in the general science forum on smAshomash.com/forum. So if you head to smAshomash.com/forum, go to the general science section. We have picked up this article because it is not a sharticle. Next, we're going to look at the sun here in 171 angstroms. That's a 48-hour view. Little bright spot over here also, underneath my mouse pointer. Sorry, folks, no Epic Pen today. And none of that. See ya. Thanks. Anyway, there's the 48-hour view of the 171 angstroms wavelength. It's ionized iron UV spectra. And the KP index is at 1, having come off of its highs of 3. We still do see a bit of an elevated solar wind, and let's talk about lightning. Now, these sprites were photographed just a day or two ago near Oklahoma City. And the 10.7 centimeter radial flux, I think, has gone back down to 68. Let me check spaceweather.com. No, it looks like it's still 69, so there you go. Here's where stuff is in the solar system. There's where things will be in 1 week. On May 1st, the date at which the lockdown had better end, and wearing masks requirement had better end, or else. Now, let's talk about meteors. Holy cripes! Don't become the part of the Earth that makes a meteor into a meteorite. As these things tend to travel at 40,000, 60,000, 80,000 miles per hour, it could be unhealthful. Guess what? Researchers have found credible evidence of someone being killed by a falling meteorite. That's right, it killed one man and paralyzed another one in Turkey in the year 1888 on August 22nd. And the reason we didn't know about it before is because it was in an odd language. So there were problems translating. There's the anticipated path of where it went as the fireball burned some crops. If you want to read that article, it's located at Science Alert. Don't become the part of the Earth that makes a meteor into a meteorite. You'll have a bad day. A woman was hit in the hip by one. So that's a documented story also. I know on 1001 Ways to Die, there was a clip about a guy who was preaching at a party and got hit by a meteorite, but that is apparently an uncorroborated report. Next, we're looking at a star chart. And man, oh man, are we late putting the video out today, as I'll have large portions of my day utterly ruined because of Covidiocy, which is becoming a new pattern, and I'm about to stop doing everything because the patterns that I see are not acceptable. Anyway, we've got a bunch of planets up there. We've got Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, and Mercury, and the Sun all up there at the same time. And now you can't see them anymore because the Sun's risen where I am. There are those two little tiny X-ray flares, followed by two more small X-ray flares. Nothing in a B-class range, but less flatline than we've seen. Proton flux remains flatline as we go back into a solar maximum. And we really are still at solar minimum, folks, by the way. Next, looking at the real-time solar wind, we still see an elevated solar wind density here. It's come down. All right, now it's down to 3.36 protons per cubic centimeter. That is a background level. That is that's what you'd call a quiet solar wind. Very, very background density. Solar wind speed coming down to 361 kilometers a second. And we should see the electron flux get into warning levels today. I'll tell you about it momentarily. There's the latest data from ACE, and the particle collector looks like it is busted. Next, the geospace magnetosphere movie. There's 4 hours of data, and allow me to vanish. And we see a very steady magnetosphere here, and this is probably going to get weaker and weaker. So we're going to see stronger electrons and weaker amounts of protons, if that makes any sense. Next, we're going to look at ground geospace magnetic perturbations, coming here a little closer to home during this polar excursion. And you won't see very much on there either, I don't believe. Some very minor perturbations associated with the Canadian North Pole, as well as the Siberian North Pole, as well as the South Pole, which has left the Antarctic continent and is now in the southern Indian Ocean, believe it or not. And we try to gather 4 hours of data daily. And we'll let that play through here. Please bear with me. Next, looking at the GOES magnetometer, it's still spiky, and it's going to continue to look spiky. In fact, it's going to get even weirder over the next few hours. You're going to see this jump all over the place as there is a heliospheric polarity crossing about to happen. And here's what we're talking about. You can see finally the North Pole is shining through there. You can see that greenness. That is the North Solar Polar Field. And we could already be into the North Pole-oriented portion of the current sheet, again shown here in green. Having been in the red portion, shown in red, the South Pole polarity current sheet, which we've been in for weeks, actually. So that's a good thing. You want to see the North Pole not get super weak. And there's an indication that it's either gaining a little strength or that there is some solar activity like a sunspot south of the solar equator. And we'll be keeping an eye on that active region. Next, we'll look at the line of sight field plot. There you go. There's that data. Keep in mind it's 1 hour and 9 minutes old, and that magnetic environment can change with absolutely no warning. That's part of the reason why we study what we study, because of predictive phenomenon. Relativistic electrons have come up, and we haven't gotten electron warning levels yet. We'll show you the GOES electrons after this. Here's the total electron content forecast. And I would be very confident to forecast electron flux warnings today. If you have space weather alerts, you should probably see one coming through just in a few hours here. Yesterday we didn't get into alert levels, so I was wrong for once. And there is the current data from the GOES 16. GOES 15, GOES 15, where are you? Earth to GOES 15. Next, looking at the F2 layer. Really, it's more like the entire ionosphere. As those red blobs indicate an F layer, where there is no double layer. 1 megahertz. So, yeah, there's the ionosphere. It's looking a little anomalous and wobbly. The nighttime and daytime sides both look pretty weak. And here's the latest image, we hope, at 10:45 UT. Again, coming at you late today, folks. Next, we'll look at witty.com. I'm just allowing the GFS forecast for pressure cells to advance. And we'll let that get into about 24 hours from when we made the video, which is, it's currently 7:02. What the hell is going on? There we go. Anyway, there's where things will be at 1400 Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow. And if you're wondering where I'm located, it's in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. Next, we'll look at earthquakes. And we see nothing over a 6 magnitude, which is usually what we report. Here's a 4.7 at depth at the Northern Mariana Islands there, south of Japan. And we're only going to go over quakes of note here. 4.3 also at the Northern Mariana Islands, so that one coming in about 5 hours after the previous one. 4.3 magnitude at a depth of 313 kilometers. Some quakes in the Caribbean there. Here's another deep one at Alaska. We've been seeing a bunch of deep quakes there around the 3 magnitude range. This one's at 148 kilometers depth. Here's a Nicaraguan quake that struck only 7 minutes after the Alaskan one at nearly the same depth, but at a larger magnitude. Next, a very deep quake at the Fiji Islands. It's a 4.6 magnitude at 528 kilometers. If that happened at the surface, that would be a magnitude 6 or so. Here's a 4.9 at Vanuatu. It's at 107 kilometers. Deep quake at near central Alaska, actually. Pretty far inland. And there ends the quake section. Check it out. We've got some lava bombs coming out of Sakurajima. Today, actually. That's just recent. Check it out. 424 at 223.55. And I think that's probably universal time. Anyway, Mount Aso, flight level 6,000 there, Sakurajima. An uptick at Sakurajima, producing an 11,000-foot ash plume now, and a near constant glow visible from the summit crater. Suwanosejima, ash plume of 4,000 feet there. Mount Semeru, flight level 14,000 there. I think that's back on the list. Explosive activity at Tokono, flight level 7,000. Popocatépetl, likewise exploding, flight level 20,000. Sangay exploding, flight level 20,000. Revenador exploding, flight level 15,000. And Sabancaya exploding, producing a 23,000-foot plume of ash. Please do not hang glide over that. And we've moved on to the Covidiocy section. And we've got a bunch of different articles to talk about today. Yeah, I wanted to read you a quote from President Trump. So this one's from Real Clear Politics. This is a direct quote. I'm not embellishing. I'm not saying anything silly. And I'm not even going to critique it. I'm just going to read the Trump quote, and you just make your own conclusions. And I'm not going to try to do a Trump voice because I'm not good at it. Thank you very much. So I asked Bill a question that probably some of you are thinking of if you are totally into that world, which I find to be very interesting. So supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you are going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way, and I think you said you're going to test that too. It sounds interesting. Right. And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute. 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside, or almost a cleaning, because you see it gets in the lungs and it does a tremendous number? Interesting to check, so that you are going to have to use medical doctors with, but it sounds interesting to me, so we will see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful. Steve, please. Anyway, again, make your own conclusions. We have updated the forums once again with 2 articles, which are not sharticles. One about inflation, and I guess I'll have to read my post here. We've largely stopped updating the forum thread, so feel free to contribute. Do not expect daily updates every single day anymore, because frankly I can't hack it. As I've been correctly stating, the U.S. is still by far the strongest economy on earth. While the U.S. dollar is going to see significant inflation moving forward, we don't expect it to be as bad as other major currencies, especially the euro and the Japanese yen. Money printing is no solution for anything except the warfare welfare state. Centralization is dead, and companies and governments imposing ridiculous rules for us are doing so to prevent litigation, not to protect your health. Ironically, I'm considering multiple lawsuits right now, one against a huge corporation and one against Pennsylvania's inane governor, Tom Wolf. We've also put up a review of the most promising strategies for defeating coronavirus. And stuff as simple as that right there can break up the coronavirus. You know, I would say kill. But not only is a virus not your enemy, it's not even alive in the first place. So it's not even classified as a kingdom of life, folks. And let us know what you're doing during your lockdown. Now, we put up a BitChute exclusive. We may put this on YouTube eventually, but you should check out bitchute.com/smAsho anyway. Please subscribe over there, as we get hundreds and hundreds more views per day than we get on YouTube. Here's a little clip from today's video. Covidiots, government and corporate policies are ineffective and not designed to protect you. And yeah, everything's gotten more expensive in terms of the amount of effort it takes to do anything, and I'm about to quit doing everything. Also, if you're locked down, perhaps check out Broadcastify. Broadcastify is a great way to listen to things like police, fire, and ambulance scanners. Also, apparently, aircraft and rail. Who even knew? So if you want to listen, just go here. Just go to Browse Feeds. Click on your state. Let's say you're in, I don't know, Lehigh Valley, PA. Let's check out Lehigh Valley, PA. There you go. All you do is you just click on it, and then you just launch the web player. Oh, actually, down here you can see, like, for instance, if you want to listen to Lehigh, Northampton counties, police, fire, and EMS, you just click on that. There you go. Hit play. And you're listening. You can see the timer start to run. As soon as somebody broadcasts, you'll hear it. It's good times. Broadcastify.com for when you're bored at home. Here's the Real Clear Politics article that I cited, because people are freaking out on the internet, suggesting that Trump said to inject Clorox or something like that. Are you familiar with the deadly cost of extended shutdown orders? Well, I'm not, so I'm not going to cover the article, but perhaps have a read. That's located at amgreatness.com. I don't know where that even came from, honestly. I think I linked to it from a different article. Let's get back to data and look at the... Oh, wait a minute. Let me check. Oh. You are out of here. Thanks, son. See you next time. Cheers. Oh, we got some comments here. What do we got? Yeah, my glasses. Yeah, no glasses. Oh, yeah. An asteroid showed up on the Schumann resonances. Okay, if you say so. I don't know how you're going to prove that one, but good luck. And thanks for leaving comments, folks. Here are the jet streams of the Western world, and they are all over the place. People in northwestern Africa are going to complain of very cold temperatures, as you can see cold Arctic air being injected. They'll probably get a snowstorm and claim it's because of global warming caused by CO2 emissions. And there's the eastern world's jet streams, which are likewise all over the place. Next, we're looking at water vapor maps for Africa and Europe. Here's a water vapor map for the Far East and Oceania. Here's a lightning map, and we've got major lightning across Florida. Check it out. It's subsided a little bit now, but shout out Orlando. There's thunder rolling in, and some of it's coming from Center City, baby. If you haven't checked it out before, next time you hear thunder, check out lightningmaps.org. Impress your friends and frighten your foes by forecasting thunder. People will think that you have a direct line to Thor or Odin or some other Norse gods. And there's that series of storms. Some pretty heavy storms there across central Florida. Next, we'll look at the U.S. water vapor map. Blow that up a little bit for you there. There you go. By the way, if you're wondering the keyboard shortcut for that, it's the control key and the number pad plus and minus. It works great. Keyboard shortcuts save you time and energy. Next, we're going to look at the Four Corners region, as we see some interesting convergences happening there and some suddenly drying up air. So check this out. This is going to be our official weather pornography spot. And yes, I know people think that those are chemtrails and that they're HARP and that they're doing all kinds of things that they aren't doing at all, since those are Hall currents in the atmosphere, and they have absolutely nothing to do with contrails, chemtrails, HARP, or anything like that. As the universe isn't electric, but the atmosphere is electric in that it is a capacitor between things like solar protons and the Earth. Anyway, we've got two different systems there. Once again, we've got an upper level low pressure creating a temperature and pressure inversion there right over the Four Corners area. And man, if you fly a plane through that area, it is going to be rough. And hey, Smash Team, thanks for tuning in. And yes, light is a way to make yourself sneeze. The next time you have to sneeze, folks, you feel like you're not going to sneeze, shine a flashlight in your eye. You'll find that you sneeze. I don't know what the mechanism behind that is. It has something to do with pupil dilation, I would imagine. But not exactly sure how that one works. Just like if you don't want to sneeze, you hold your nose. That one does make sense because you could blow your brains out if you sneeze while you hold your nose, so there's an evolutionary feature. Did you know that you could prevent vomiting by breathing heavy? Well, cheers. I just gave you a health tip. And stay tuned for bonus features, Smash Team. Don't forget to share on your social media, etc. Did you watch yesterday's Diamond Anvil Too Hard to Smash video? Well, it's both on YouTube and on BitChute. So perhaps check that out, and let's talk about our mission. Number 6 on our mission is to assist mankind by advancing the study of predictive phenomenon in order to optimize value and reduce risk and liability and save lives and resources and adapt no matter what the adversity is. So that's why we forecast things, because we're able. And anyway, so please support us in any possible way you can, as we've got a lot of things to do in 2020, and the Covidiocy is not going to stop us. So we are on PayPal. It's paypal.me/smashomash. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/smashomash. And throughout the month of April, all the posts are public. We don't have any tiers, which is not your cue to stop supporting us. But starting May 1st, we're going to go back to tiers, and everybody's going to receive different benefits for helping to fund our operations. We're also on Subscribestar, subscribestar.com/smashomash. We have released Dr. Steelshank. If you want to download it to your MP3 collection for free, it's on both of those pages. And thanks for everybody who does support us, especially our patrons. the real source of funding for these videos. Thanks very much, patrons, for being both associate and assistant producers of the channel. Last but not least, we're going to look at the intensity gram of the local yellow dwarf and see if we see any umbre, and we do not. So here you can see a little bit of lightness around these areas, but no darkness. No umbre means no sunspots. Here's the colorized magnetogram, which is looking a little anomalous, actually. It got a little weird looking there for a while. Probably an indication of the crossing of the current, the polarity boundary in the current sheet, which we talked about earlier in the Gong 2 information. And there you can see the magnetic fields associated with that active region. And let's close things out with one more view here. How about the 131 angstroms? This one takes 10 images per minute, just like the 94 angstroms view, and is specifically designed to watch active regions and sunspots and solar flares. So, some activity there. It's more exciting than no activity. Thanks for tuning in. We are out. Remember, stare at the sun, don't drink, and if you do, don't drive. And since it'll never be now again, don't be a Covidiot, and may the solar wind be at your back.